Yeah. I always pictured I would be one of the greatest. Become every sense of the word and stun on those who hate it. Something that I was given, my parents that couldn't take it. Resilience to every stone that was cast, I demonstrated. Every stone I put in bracelets. Beauty underrated.
Welcome to another edition of the Rob and Rob for Life podcast. I'm your host, Rob Bruin, along with my good light-skinned brother, Rob McLean. What's the word?
What it do, my brother? You know what's crazy, bro?
Tell me.
It must be nice doing what you love as your career, and it shows in this person's work.
Absolutely. Especially when you're a God-fearing woman, anchor, and most of all, she's Morgan's mom. How you doing, Brianna Dahlquist? How you feeling?
I'm great. How y'all doing?
Doing well.
We're good. Just glad to be here with you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So, off rip, we already know that you wouldn't be anywhere without your foundation and your relationship with God. Tell us how important your relationship is with God and how it's helped you grow in your career so far.
I mean, it's everything. It's everything. And I don't believe that if you want to go far in life, you can just wake up one morning and say, you know what? I'm going to do this without being strategic. And one thing I absolutely love about God, as our Father, He is so strategic. He says, before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew the plans I had for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you an expected hope in a future. I love that about Him. So yeah, he's been the biggest influence I've ever had on, keeping it going and keeping it pushing. So definitely.
I heard through the grapevine that TD Jakes is one of your favorite guys. Can you tell us why?
You know what? I call him Uncle TD because he is so real. Okay. Not for real, but he's like everybody uncle. Everybody uncle that tells you like it is, is transparent, is real, is not gonna say, you know what, keep on doing what you're doing. It'll be fine. He's like, no, get your house in order. You know what I'm saying? If you need to do X, Y, and Z, go ahead and handle it. And he's like a ouch, but a ooh. Ouch. Some of the things. Yeah, some of the things he says is like, are you calling me out, Bishop TD Jakes? And then you're like, ooh, you know what? Okay, I needed to get my home in order. Yep, I'm good now.
I saw you on Tony Benton's live just talking about unconditional love and forgiveness. And me personally, I don't know about Rob, I be having some problems just forgiving easily. What's your steps for forgiving people?
I have the same problem. I'm not I would say I'm a super loving person, but I'm not very forgiving because I feel like when people take advantage of someone who, like, all you have to do is ask. The answer is, yes, or, whatever. I feel like it's
tough.
It's tough. But you know what? I know that in the Bible it says, if you have unforgiveness in your heart, it alters God from hearing your prayers. So I don't forgive for other people. And sometimes people, they won't even apologize to you. You got to forgive for yourself. You got to forgive for yourself. I think Bishop TD Jakes says something about, unforgiveness is like, making poison and you drinking it, thinking it's going to affect the other person. It's really poison. So you got to get rid of that resentment, that, unforgiveness. You got to say, you know what? I learned a lesson from it. I'm better from, you doing X, Y, and Z to me. You tried it, but it ain't work.
Rod, I gotta say that that's real important because, like, when you don't forgive people, it holds you back. Like you have that resentment in your heart and you're functioning in a certain type of way that doesn't allow you to move forward. Meanwhile, the other person has moved forward and you're stuck on that.
Right.
So that's definitely the energy and the power that you need to keep for yourself. And I can't agree with you any more than that.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, sometimes like you could forgive the person, but you can never really forget that thing.
You know what? Here's what you got to do. you forgive, sometimes it's impossible to forget. And I think that sometimes um, when you've been through a lot, it 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 holds as a trigger.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have, little things like if someone, as it relates to abuse, if someone has been hit growing up, that it's a trigger when someone tries to tell you what to do or, do whatever. If someone has a parent who has been in prison before and they talk about mass incarceration, it's a trigger. But you can forgive, not necessarily forget, but you have to train your mind to say, you know what, I remember when auntie or uncle did such and such and it made me feel like that. I'm so glad I don't have to go through that anymore and I'm not in that position anymore. Well, since I am, forgiving that person, but I didn't forget, how can I help other people who are going through the same thing? Because that's therapeutic. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's
if
true.
if a single mom, like how much crap I had to go through being a single
Mm-hmm.
mom and like who single
It's
mommy
tough.
woes,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
crazy.
can help somebody else. I can help the next girl out.
it's only right.
Yeah.
Word on the streets is that it was Morgan's birthday month. We're gonna do a little shout out, happy belated birthday to
Yeah,
Morgan.
big shout out to the young
Hey.
princess. Facts.
Yeah, she is 5
A
and
whole
going on
5.
15, a whole 5. I got a whole
It's a fact.
5-year-old. She is going on. Oh, look at these queens out here graduating. Come on. Anyway, we love to see it. Um, but yeah, Morgan Amel is 5 years old. She loves animals, aminals as she calls them.
I'm
She
weak.
loves singing. Mommy, that's an aminal. She loves Paw Patrol. She loves anything unicorn or mermaid. So yeah, check my baby out.
Every year as human beings, we're constantly growing and growing every year. What have you seen from your daughter this year, how she's growing into herself?
I think she is learning how to express herself a lot better. Because before she would, either act out or, cry or, throw a temper tantrum. And now she's saying, Mom, I'm really hungry, or Mommy, I'm really sleepy. Can we, can we do X, Y, and Z? Or Mom, can we go to Chick-fil-A? It's not Chick-fil-A, it's Chick-fil-A. And Mommy, can
That's
you get me
funny.
a kid's meal? Because that's what I really want. She's learning how to express herself.
She being more
And
vocal.
yeah, she's more
Mm.
vocal and, telling Mommy and aunties how she feels and really getting her way because that's how she does it because she's so
Oh,
darn cute.
she
Hey,
know
she's
what
a
she
You know what to
doing.
princess,
do.
as she
Yeah.
You know what to
should.
do. Ah, yeah.
The other day, me and Rob was just talking about like what's going on in the world, and we feel like the one big problem is the way certain people are raised.
Ooh,
Is it
child.
is there anything specifically that you're teaching your daughter just to prepare herself for the future?
Honestly, there are certain things as a mom that you have to teach your daughter. If I had a son, it would be a different conversation. Um, a still well needed conversation, but there are certain things that as a single mom with a little princess that you have to absolutely teach your daughter in order to prepare her. I teach her about, if someone is, coming in your space and it's making you feel a little bit uncomfortable. I teach her that hands are for helping and for healing and not for hurting. I teach her
Mm-hmm.
that, just because a person looks a little bit different from you, it is not okay to judge that person or, have a certain negative connotation about a person of a specific background, that it's okay to have a diverse group of friends, that it's okay to play with whomever you want to. And even as a 5-year-old, she's, faced discrimination, going
Already?
to the already.
That's crazy.
Already, I remember when we went to the mall, we were in Atlanta, Georgia, and there's a play area. And one mom said, no, I don't want her playing with you. No, baby, play with, basically she didn't
Yeah.
say white, I promise you. Basically, she didn't say play with the white girls, but go play with the good girls over there.
Yeah.
And I'm just
Mm.
like, first off, your daughter's like 8. she shouldn't even be in this playground because it's catered to little girls and little boys. And then 2, my daughter's over here outshining all y'all kids because my baby's the super athletic one. So, okay, that's fine. But I said, baby, it's okay. You don't have to play with them. Mommy will play with you. And I sure did. I took off my high heels and I went up there and we were just playing. We had so much fun. But I taught her, like, yo, just because a person is not being receptive to you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't, shrug it off.
At the end of the day, we're all acquired taste, you know? It's
right.
I mean, everybody's not gonna like you, and you know, I'm pretty sure you're teaching your daughter, like you're saying, you just have to be confident in yourself, you know, because at the end of the day, it really doesn't, I mean, it matters what other people think, but you have to be strong enough and aware of who you are.
Yeah, I agree.
Right. And I feel like it's not that people don't want to change. I feel like certain people are just scared to change their ways.
I think so too, because they don't know what it would yield. Like they don't know if they did change certain things about them, like would people still like me, or, you know,
they care about what people think about them.
Right. Is my deposition going to change? But you got to change in order to grow. I mean, I don't see it being possible without you, you know, changing and growing. I don't, got to change. Change is good.
True.
So what do you see in yourself that you see in your daughter? That one thing.
Ooh. We're tenacious.
Okay.
Off your head. I don't care. I'm a type of lady. I'm Lady Red. You understand me? Like, I'm coming for what I want. I don't care if who is in my way. I will politely go around that and I will succeed in whatever I set my mind to. We are so tenacious. I love it. And
be that way.
You have to be that way, especially now, and especially as a Black woman. I feel like I'm already a woman and I'm already Black. I feel like there's so many people, even in the news industry, that doubt me and that say, you know what, you can't do X, Y, and Z. And I politely
just moving them out the way.
Kill them with kindness, because at the end of the day, you're not going to stop my shine and you're not going to rain on my parade. Okay?
That's a fact.
You tried it, but it didn't work.
Protect your energy.
Period.
That's right, boo. Period.
That's a fact. That's a big fact. So we know that mentorship is, you know, really, really important to the development of all of us. Can you break down the experience that you had as like Jay Harris really mentored you?
Yes. So it's crazy because he actually vouched for me to get a job.
Oh, wow.
And I put him, I put him on my contact list as one of my mentors. He and Tiffany Blackman, formerly of the NFL Network, now with Major League Soccer. They said, you know what? She has what it takes. She can do this. Give her a shot. I promise you won't regret it. And here's the thing, like, when you meet someone years ago, I'm always thanking myself and I'm always hugging myself saying like, yo, thank you for not being, you know, shy or scared, because at the end of the day, I'm kind of shy. I'm not such, like, even though people think I'm a people person, I'm not really that way. I'm really not that way. I like being home. I like my family and I like cooking, and I just, you know, I'm kind of a homebody. That's me. But at, you know, NABJ 4 years ago, I said, yo, I've always wanted to meet him. He's like one of my favorite personalities on SportsCenter. Like, yo, I have to step out of my element. I have to step out of myself and just say, you know what? I want to meet you. I want to see what you're about. I love you on TV. Do you think you'd be willing to mentor me? I promise you, Rod, I sent him my reel. No. Ooh, okay. So at the NABJ booth, at the ESPN booth at NABJ, it's like a job, career fair or whatever. He was like, what is your reel? And I was like, I don't have a reel. And he was like, so what? I
That's not good. That's not good at all.
Baby. He was like,
That's
so what
bad
am I
work.
critiquing? And I said, yo, I interviewed DJ Envy this year.
Okay.
Do you want to see that? And he was like, yeah, I'll see the interview, but he wasn't really feeling it. So he was like, you know, you have to go ahead and put together a reel. You got to do something, because this one interview is not going to tell me who you are. And it's not even about sports. You say you want to be a sports reporter. Okay. What are you doing, girl? Like,
Yeah.
So he emailed me. Well, he gave me his card. I thought he deaded me, like, get this white girl away from me. So what I did was I emailed him like 2 minutes later, like after I met him. Yes, I was a stalker. I don't care.
Follow-up email.
Follow-up game,
right away.
too strong. Let me tell you. Do you know this man emailed me like a minute later? Can't wait to see your reel. I think you have what it takes. You just need X, Y, and Z. Go ahead and shoot what you got. Send it to me. It took me about a week to come up with the reel. I sent it to him. It's good. Take the music out. Do X, Y, and Z, and then send it back to me. I did everything. He said, that's good. Keep it going. And ever since then, we've been in contact. I remember my first week starting at Fox 55 News in Fort Wayne, Indiana. He took the time out because, you know, he works super early in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't go on the anchor desk until 10, and I don't get off until 11. He sat up there and watched me. He wrote notes. Got to do this, change this, that. And the same thing with Tiffany Blackman. She will go out of her way to say, you know what? You did that. And I'm so proud of you. And I feel like if you don't have a person that believes in you, whether it's, and I was apprehensive, like, yo, a lot of people got negative stuff to say about male mentors.
Mm-hmm.
And I just haven't experienced it. I haven't experienced it. And I'm just like, yo, if I hadn't have said anything,
God
I
only
would have been
knows
out
where
a
you
good
would be.
right. I would have been out such a great person that believes in the youth. He actually spoke with NABJ of Georgia State University, and you know, does webinars for them as well, just because he knows, you know, we need it.
Yeah.
I love him.
Yeah, what you're saying is real key. Yeah, you have to step out on those moments and be willing to, you know, advocate for yourself. You know, me and Rod are cool, but I can only help him with so
We
That's a fact. But you can only do so much. You know, you have to do it for yourself. So what you said is real important. And also it just takes that one person to really help and guide you, because he really could have just put you to the side, like you just said. And it's very important that we pay attention to, like, it's okay if you get a no, but you just need one yes. You know what I mean? You were just 1 week away from adjusting that. And you know, look where you are now. So super dope.
And that's on what? Period, Pooh.
And with criticism, you know, sometimes people either fall back or accept the challenge to improving. And you did that, which is also good.
I was just hungry. You know, here I was at NABJ. I just had Morgan. Morgan was like 6 months old. I had to drop out of Clark Atlanta University. And I just said, you know what? I took the mega bus. At the time, a close family friend, he's like a mentor to mine. He said, yo, if you really need help, I'll send you a plane ticket. I'll send you there. Can you find a way back? You know, we're not balling. I don't come from a family of money. And I remember on the mega bus, my $20-$30 mega bus trip, saying like, Lord God, I thank you so much for your faithfulness, because I met Jamil, I met Jay Harris, I met J.A. Adonde, I met the president of NABJ. She knows I'm hungry. She let me volunteer for her. And I didn't have to pay for anything there. She let me into the job fair. She asked me for help. And I would just remember sitting on that, because that bus ride was like 13 hours. And someone kept Putin next to me. I'm like, I'm dying here. But that little 13-hour bus ride allowed me to reflect.
Worth it.
You was in the back of the bus or the front?
I was in the back.
Oh, you was by the bathroom?
Nah.
Damn.
And they, for
Remind me.
whatever reason, they had assigned seats. How you do that to me? Why you doing that?
They tried
Dang.
to kill you back there. So we also
They
heard through
did.
the grapevine that you had a little brunch with Taylor Rooks
The
out in
NABJ.
Miami.
Mhm.
Talk to us
You know that's
about
my
that.
girl.
We
Well,
heard.
if you don't like Taylor Rooks and you don't follow her, please catch up. She's so innovative. She's so creative. Whether you guys know it or not, she is so, oh my gosh, she's so incredibly giving and inspiring. Even though she is, got it going on, sports reporter, has all the exclusive interviews, she still will take the time out to say, yo, let's go to lunch.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
getting a
dope.
group of Black girls together. We're going to be up in Miami at the JW. Paid for
It's
everything.
lit.
It was lit. She bought us mimosas.
She paid for everything?
She paid for everything. Not only
Hair
did she
done,
pay for
nails
everything,
done, everything did.
everything did. You understand me? Not only did she do that, she didn't flex. She was just like, let's take pictures. Let's go
Let's just
over
have
reels.
fun.
Let's just have fun. Let's let our hair down. It's in Miami. And I was just like, did you just become one of my best friends? Because I love
lit.
you. And when you meet someone of that stature, you don't know if they're gonna flex on you, because I have been flexed on by Black women reporters before. And honestly, it just hurts to your core. So going into it, I was hyped, but I was just like, Brianna, in the back of my mind, if she's not who you think she is, it's okay. Because
It's
like
okay,
Kobe Bryant said, like Kobe Bryant said, I met like one of my idols and he was such an a-hole that I don't never want to be in that position again. So I've had that happen to me before. So I was just like, yo, just keep it cool. But then she was acting the way she was acting. I said, I'm hype. I am hype. She is gorgeous, articulate. I love her political stance. Don't stick to sports. She never sticks to sports. I love that.
Step outside the box.
It was lit.
And she keeps it real too.
She keeps it so 100. She from Atlanta. She don't got no choice. She has to.
Yeah, no, that's a fact. It's only right.
You had a webinar called Becoming the Real Deal on May 11th. What's that like knowing there's a bunch of young journalists already in your point in your career looking up to you?
You know what? Ooh, that's so humbling. You got to understand, guys, and this is too much. This is too much. This is way too much, but you got to understand, like, I've lived in a homeless shelter before. I don't come from money. I was that girl who, oh my God, I'm trying not to get emotional, but I was that girl who would ask people for help and no one would hear me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was that little girl who, not little girl, but who just had a baby by herself, had to catch 3 buses because I didn't have a car, with my baby, got kicked out of the dorms because I had a baby. You know what I'm saying? Now I have to find somewhere to live. Now I'm in a shelter. And it's just like, if you never stop, no matter what you're going through, you never stop. Like, no matter what is you're facing, no matter what, never stop. Put everything in perspective. Yo, I'm not where I want to be, but thank God I'm not where I was. And even though I'm not where I want to be, I thank God I don't look like what I've been through. You know what I'm saying? Don't let this, these eyelashes fool you. your girl been through a lot. So I'm so grateful. And I don't even look at people like aspiring nothing, because when I say I'm going to do something, I do it, 1. And then 2, if I say I'm going to do something and I see something powerful in a person, they're not aspiring anymore. They're just journalists. They're my peers. You know what I'm saying? Because I might have a job later, but I need my folks, my journalist crew to lift me up too when I'm down. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's true.
That's why I give major props to like Rod. I give major props to Jasmine. I give major props to David, who hopped on the webinar, because, we've been through it. And I don't know about you, but it was not easy to find me a job. It took me over a year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And 3 tries.
So listen,
It's
you
really
got
a
the perfect
marathon.
fit. You got the
really a
perfect
marathon,
fit.
man.
Definitely is.
The one thing that I realized about you at the webinar, even though I joined a little late,
it's all good.
You wasn't just sharing your knowledge, you was absorbing knowledge as well to people like us, which is really a privilege to us that you was actually paying attention to what we had to say.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I don't know everything. And I don't know about other people, but when someone has something to say, when someone speaks, I listen. You know what I'm saying? Because I know about sports, but I didn't know about news until I got in the industry. I had to learn about news because that's the job that was granted to me. So I had to learn about it. So when someone has something good to say, like your points that you made at the webinar, really about networking and about connecting, and how you were like, oh, let's link up after, I have to listen. It's good information. So I love it.
The other day you tweeted about how you had to change your Facebook name because of comments that was said at you and to your station. So my question for you is, why do you think right now during these times a lot of people hate the local news than the national news when you guys are trying to do the same exact thing?
Rod, when I tell you I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. Do you literally wake up with hate in your heart? Do you really just say, you know what? I'm going to tear down that little Black and Swedish girl right there. I'm going to tear her down. Even though she's a single mom, even though she comes from X, Y, and Z, even though she's had to face so many obstacles, I'm going to break her down today. I'm going to tear her down because I'm mad. And it seems like, when will it let up? But in my heart of hearts, and I don't know how you flow, I don't know how the audience flows, but I feel like if they persecuted Jesus and he was Jesus, they gonna persecute me too. They gonna have something negative to say about me too. And I talk with my girls. I talk to Danielle, Jay Martin. I talk to Jazzy, and I say, I talk to Jade. How do you guys deal? Because this ain't it. And they say, you know what, you have to put everything in perspective. You literally, and then it opens my mind, because I literally am coming into these persons' home every single night. That is such an honor. So it puts that much more stress on me to get my story right. To say, you know what, let me make sure I'm crossing my T's and dotting my I's, and I'm making sure I'm getting, because breaking news is one thing. Breaking news is cool, but you getting a real scoop and it's accurate, that goes above any type of breaking news. That goes above any type of exclusive interview. It's just, it's right. Like when I broke the John C. Calhoun story, it was right. I got maybe 97 comments, a couple Facebook messages saying, you know what, you're just stirring up the pot. The media is the enemy. The coronavirus is a Democratic hoax. Okay.
People just talking.
Okay.
They gonna do that regardless.
Regardless, if I'm winning or if I'm losing. So I'm gonna live my life. You gonna be over there talking about me. I'm gonna be over here reading my Bible. Okay. I don't have time. Foolishness.
You definitely got to be mentally strong, clearly, to go through all of these different obstacles. And you just got to know that you're confident. This is going to happen no matter what. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we definitely
it's 2020 now, and it's still going on and on.
Absolutely. Right. But before we run out of time, we have to do this. Okay. Right? We have to raise our glass to toast to the queen.
You love to see it.
That's a fact. So all of your work, everything you continuing to do, keep being
And
Morgan's mom,
success.
and more success. Absolutely. You had to get that in before we got you out of here.
And right, hold on. Raise your glass again.
Oh yeah, we're getting love.
This is a toast to y'all.
Oh, we never got that.
Stop it.
You guys are so amazing. I watched the pod. I watched the show. I love what you guys are doing. You guys literally go to bat for journalists, for people in the media, and you guys put on other people, and you guys make us feel so good about ourselves, even though sometimes we feel like we have so much, we're in over our heads. So toast to y'all.
Appreciate you. That means a lot.
Y'all the best.
I love, that's a fact. You definitely had to get that in. That was good. We never got that, right? That's new.
Yeah, we never got that. Oh.
Y'all lit. Y'all need to know y'all lit. But yeah.
No, we definitely appreciate that.
For sure. Absolutely. Well, thank you guys for having me. I love y'all. And
we appreciate that. We can't wait to see you at the next conference too.
Yeah, but this gang. But this, I don't know what symbol that is. I don't know if it's a gang sign. I just want to clarify.
It's not a gang sign. You're good. You say
it all the time. So please, I'm a solid fan, but I'm a hot girl. But I love y'all, and this better not be the last time I'm on the pod, okay?
Oh no, definitely. You always got a space with us for sure. We definitely appreciate you tuning in. It's the Rob and Rob for Life podcast. We out.
Hey.
For life.
Hey.
For life.
Was told to believe if you're not a scholar, get a diction. A boy like you in the league, only way that people paying. I started believing that I was one that wouldn't make it. That gave me more reason to question pictures people painted. I stopped giving a fuck.